Well, I'm very pleased to be here to talk a bit about the history of the Bread Project. I was in the kind of early days, not the very early days, but I was invited by Lucy Bookbinder, one of the founders along with Susan Phillips, to this little basement space that the school district owned, where they were actually realizing the idea that they had and brought to fruition, which is to teach people a skill they would always have and they would be able to earn a living with. The spaces were very rudimentary, might I say, but they carried through, and Lucy knew, she was the one who I interfaced with most, that she wanted to be relevant with her senior years. And this was the way she and Susan chose to make a difference for themselves. So now the Bread Project has grown, serving so many more people.
The funny thing is I live a couple blocks away. So, I've always seen the Bread Project, in this location. I'm like, what the heck is that about? And then I had this opportunity to join the board, and it's been tremendous. I have had a chance to get to know some of the folks, and what I've seen is an incredible dedication. It's not just about being compassionate, but about trying to really get things done.
I've been on the board of the Bread Project since 2016. I started as a volunteer after I retired, and it's just a program that's been growing near and dear to my heart.
We do more than teach the hands-on of cooking and baking. We work with students to have them think about a vision. You can see the vision boards behind me. Many of them never thought about what you really want to do in your life, and this is an expansive exercise for them to think through what do they care about, what do they want to do, what kind of situation would they like to be in their lives. And so they create individual vision boards, and they're then able to talk with each of their contemporaries in the cohort about their vision board and what they care about and what they're passionate about. Again, it's not just the techniques of cooking, it's really working with the whole person. And the Bread Project creates a family environment where students collaborate and work together. They bond over the 5-week period and become friends.
Watching the students come into this program without any experience really in fundamentals of cooking as well as fundamentals of getting jobs has been extremely rewarding. They come in, they learn a full range of skills in the cooking and baking industry. They also learn soft skills, how to do a resume, how to do interviews. There's a whole program set up to support them as they move through this program. It's really wonderful to see people go through the program, learn these new things, and then actually land that job and be able to kind of move into the workforce and start their careers.
So we have about 12 to 15 people on each cohort. It lasts 5 weeks, and we learn to have bread, also some cooking parts, some pastry. We learn 35 recipes, but mainly is about the bread. We have about 20 different bread.
Yeah, we're showing a higher percentage of our students going into cooking and baking. But the main thing is, our entire focus is really economic self-sufficiency. And so we're really working to get them a job. We follow every graduate for 12 months, and anyone is actually welcome to come back to the Bread Project and say, I need help, I lost my job, or I'm not getting along well with my boss. Do you have any ideas of how you could support me?
This is a fabulous program. It's really great program. It's a free program, mostly focused on no income or low income group. Before 2021, we did just the training program. Now we have 3 pillars: training, community meal, and incubation program. Downstairs, mostly our chefs work with them to provide the training, hands-on training, to make sure they have all general knowledge of kitchen, good manufacturing practices, make sure that all this FIFO and everything, they will, when they get a job, they make sure that they have everything in their hand to get the job. Second pillar is the community meal. We provided meal to homeless and other community partners that will make 2,400 meals every week. Now our third pillar is incubation program.
Hi, my name is Joyce Tang and I am the founder and owner of Bake Some Pastry. The Bread Project trains and teaches a lot of folks how to bake, how to cook, and how to find employment within the food industry in this very large 4,000 square foot facility. In the hours that the Bread Project is not in operation, we take a lot of that time to do a lot of our own production and make better use of this kitchen space when there are no folks inside. And also we share the bakery too when the Bread Project is in operation on the weekdays. We really started out in the pandemic baking out of this facility just because there was nowhere else to bake, and we were just this little fledgling bakery that had a dream and a handful of bakers, 4 to 5 bakers, and we began our bakery story by selling pastries out of the back parking lot of the Bread Project during the pandemic when it wasn't really safe for folks to go out at the time. And fast forward 5 years later, we now have our own store in Oakland, and we are also continuing to bake and grow from this facility in Berkeley.
Hello, my name is Wafa Balul and my business name Kaima. Kaima, it means a tent in Arabic, a tent. And tent is like where it's like a small home where you share love, hospitality, food, and there is always of course food and like a story around it. My first journey in the business is like starting from Bread Project. We're talking about 5 years back, something like that. And it was really good experience for me with the chef Graham that time, and I learned a lot. I learned like recipes with a big batch, and it was really good experience, and I never forget about it, and I always back to my small notebook like just tips we learned that time, just to start all like a food business. And it was really helpful for like as a starting, because you know the idea is here and everything is here, but where you start you feel like you're lost. Like I need someone who just hold my hand and just show me like here and there, and that's what I do with like same thing like Bread Project, like taking advice from here and from there. Now I'm doing good. I'm really proud where I am now. If I compare myself where I start, it's been like a journey, but it's like I made it.
My name is Alfredo Chavez. I graduated here at Cal. I saw the Bread Project on social media, and as a big fanatic of food, I decided to check it out and learn from some of the chefs. I learned a lot from the chefs, a lot of one-on-ones that we can ask questions and clarify anything that we might have not understood from the beginning. I hope to take some of the skills, or not all the skills and experience I've learned here, into some of my own cooking. Life is pretty unpredictable at times, and so just being able to have this exposure and skills knows that I opened up a pathway to cooking.
I was brought here to the Bread Project through an employment counselor, which gave me a gainful acknowledgement about working in the kitchen, food safety. I learned new recipes. I learned a lot of how to use different equipment in the kitchen, which is very good. And then I also had got my food handler's license. With working with the other students has been really great. I've met a lot of new people of different cultures, of different races, and learning a lot about different ways of how their family prepare foods at home. Also gave me a lot of tips and ways to do interviews. I haven't done an interview in quite some time, so it's giving me the confidence I need to get gainful employment. And that's my next step now, is to get gainful employment after we graduate next week.
Everybody knows the COVID affected the entire country, and especially hit hard was the restaurant industry. That is now coming back in the Bay Area.
I'm a restaurant designer and architect, so I design a lot of restaurants around the Bay Area, and I've been in touch with all those clients who went through COVID, who had to put on the many, many hats, from being a dishwasher to being a general manager to being in charge of the bar, and that multi-hat discipline that was always there but really was amped up during COVID. We just see that here. We see that in the training. We see that in all the skill sets.
And it's very exciting for us because not only do our graduates get paid at a living wage, they get benefits. Those are the kind of jobs we're looking for. And those restaurants are coming to us to find those qualified people to enter into their restaurants.
Since 2000, we almost served 2,400 students. We are providing not just a skill for them, we are teaching them how to survive. Once they get a job, their whole family and their community will survive.
Again, the whole idea is a job is part of the American dream, and people need a good job in order to thrive, in order to support their families, in order to have food on the table, in order to have a roof overhead. And so that's our focus, economic self-sufficiency. So my focus is really helping to raise the funds. It costs $750,000 a year to run this. All of the cohorts are free, so nobody pays tuition to be here, and we want to keep it that way and raise funds. Funds have been a little short in the last few years. Some funding, workforce development, are funding only higher level jobs like healthcare and computers. These individuals have many barriers, and they are not ready for those roles. So we're here to help them get the first rung on the ladder for one of their first jobs.
On behalf of the Nancy P. and Richard K. Robbins Family Foundation and Wareham Development, congratulations to the Bread Project on 25 years of important impact to the East Bay. You've made material progress in providing the resources, training, and hands-on experience to help your clients build sustainable careers and gain financial independence. In these challenging times especially, we continue to support you and also congratulate you on meeting every match we asked of you with new funding. Congratulations and keep up the great work.
Of course, I'm very honored to be recognized tonight for my work. It's a pleasure to be part of the Bread Project family. There's nothing better than to be able to use your gift of skills, your knowledge, your experience to be relevant and remain relevant and give something back to the community. Largely, I admire so much the staff, the board, the advisory board, Usha, our wonderful French chef, but above all, the students who come every day equipped to do boot camp, to learn, to stick to it, and to gain a skill that is always going to be theirs in food service, which is a real gift to everyone, a nourishing gift, a comforting gift, and just a pleasure to be part of that kind of future going forward. So thank you so much